Alright, so in this coming up next section, it's all about doing word problems that involve quadratic equations. Okay, so that naturally means you first have to know everything about quadratic equations first, right? So we did quadratic equations of, factoring, solve by factoring. So I'm talking about solving quadratic. Solving means finding the x. So solve by factoring, that's one way. Completing the squared is another way, right? Completing the squared, right? And also we can use a quadratic formula, which comes from completing the square, right? So make sure you remember that. Don't just memorize the formula. Okay, and there are some other techniques using the completing the square, also from finding from the when it comes to vertex, there's two ways to find the vertex. So vertex is a special location for a lot of word problems. It's got everything to do with max and minimum values in a quadratic word problem. So you want to be, you want to know the two ways you can find the vertex, and that's again going back to 2, right? Completing the square. The other way is from the factor form, right? So from factor form, you can find 2 roots, and in between the roots you can find the vertex. Okay, so this is two way to find the location of the vertex. These techniques you have to be familiar with. If you're good at this, the only thing you have to do in this section is actually just translate the sentence into the equation. After that, your job is done, because you have all the tools to take care of it. If any of these are weak, you might run into some problems trying to solve the problem, even though you can translate the word problems into the equation, and that in itself sometimes can be tough for a lot of students. Okay, so let's get started.